This election will decide whether we save the American dream or whether we allow a socialist agenda to demolish our cherished destiny.
Now that the conventions have ended with Republican President Donald Trump and his Democratic Party rival, former Vice President Joe Biden, making their opening arguments.
This is a life-changing election. This will determine what America is going to look like for a long, long time.
Both candidates have gotten onto the campaign trail, honing their messages to voters in key states ahead of their first face-to-face debate on September 29th.
I think that we can expect to see a rowdy debate between the two presidential candidates.
Jennifer Murcia is a communications professor at Texas A&M University. She says both Biden and Trump are fighters.
And he isn't shy to do that, to mock people or to bully them during a debate. He did that in 2016. And with Joe Biden, what we've seen from him, he sort of has a longer history of doing debates in politics. And what we've seen from him is that he's very willing to stand his ground. We saw in 2012 that his vice presidential debate was similarly, I think, to Trump in style, in that he sort of mocked his opposition a little bit.
Presidential debates have largely kept to a format of the candidates answering questions from a moderator.
It is actually informative to see both candidates in contrast to one another. So to hear how they speak, the tone they use, but also to hear about their policies. It allows them to directly accuse one another of doing things, and it also allows them to make rebuttals so that they can defend themselves.
John Koch is the debate director at Vanderbilt University. He says there needs to be an evolution beyond what he calls press conference soundbites.
The debate would start with, here's the issue or the situation. You have 30 minutes or whatever it is to meet with your consultants and advisors, and then we want you to come back with a position, explain your position, and then we'll have a debate about how you arrived at that decision, and then the quality of those decisions.
Whether viewership this year tops the estimated 84 million Americans who watched the first debate in 2016, it is questionable how many voters it will sway.
A lot of the research on presidential debates have shown that it kind of lets people identify with the candidate that they kind of already identify with. It just kind of lets them see who shares their positions, right? There's not a lot of evidence per se that it changes, presidential debates change minds.
I really think that, for these debates to have any kind of effect like they should, that the audience itself has a responsibility to listen with an open mind.
According to Pew Research, 10% of 2016 voters said they decided their vote during or just after the debates. Steve Reddish, VOA News, Washington.